am coming live today to teach you about the two types of business coaches that I have discovered. So really excited to share this with you. I have been in online business for 7 years, and I have worked with over 6 coaches in the last 3 years. And I've invested over $100,000 into my mentorship. So I have worked with many coaches over the last 3 years or so, and I've invested over 6 figures into my mentorship and my coaching education. So what I've discovered over the last 7 years, and mostly over my last 2.5 years of having my own high ticket business, is that there's really 2 types of business coaches out there. So I'd love to teach you what the differences are so that you can make an educated decision when you go to hire a coach, to understand and know what to expect. This is going to be very helpful for you. This is something that I wish that I had known like a few years ago. This would have really helped me in knowing who to hire and what to look for in a coach. So this is going to be really helpful for you to know, what are the differences between business coaches. What I see online right now, currently, there are basically 2 different types of business coaches. They do their businesses totally different. Their business models are completely different. The way that they sell, the way that they do their programs is completely different. So I want to talk about this today because I feel like this is something that needs to be said, and this education needs to happen to make sure that you make the best decision when you go to hire someone to help you in your business. So, I have been in multiple masterminds. I've done one-on-one coaching. I have done group programs. I've done it all. And when I take a program, I go all in. I listen to all of the trainings, do all of the homework, show up in everything, show up to all of my calls on time. I have high integrity. Payments are always made on time or in advance. I usually pay in full. So that's who I am when I take programs and when I do mentorship with coaches. So these 2 types of business coaches I've discovered. The first one is what they have done is they have built their business for the success of them and not their clients. So they have literally designed their business to support them and to help them, rather than being, having it be a benefit for their client. So what I mean by that is they have created a massive program, and they typically only have 1 or 2 programs. And what happens is, as a client, you will go to the calls, and what you'll find is they have hundreds of people on these Zoom calls. Hundreds. So you don't get a chance to ask a question, and if you do, it's literally like you get 2 minutes of coaching. So you're on these Zoom calls with hundreds of people, and you feel invisible. You feel like no one's listening to you, no one can hear you, and so this coach has taken themselves completely out of their business. So what I mean by that is they have hired a huge team of employees to do everything themselves. So a lot of times these are the coaches that you see running Facebook ads. And not always, but a lot of times if it's a really well-known coach, like a really well-known coaching program, and it has hundreds of people in it, this is what to expect. Like, you're going to go to Zoom calls and there's going to be hundreds of people on the calls. And you're going to feel invisible, and you're not going to get the help and support that you need. So this is really important for you to understand that if you see like these coaches who seem like famous and they seem like they can help you and they've got this awesome, really well-known program, well, just be prepared to get little to no support from these coaches, because they have designed their entire business around taking themselves out. So they have hired literally like multiple dozens of employees to run their ads, to write their content, to post on social media, to do their coaching calls, to do all of their emails. So they have taken themselves out of the business. So you hire this coach, based on, like, you see their marketing, you like them, you want to work with them. So you hire them, and then you get on these calls and you don't even get to talk to the coach. You never talk to the coach. They don't accept your friend request, and you end up talking to all of their employees. And you don't even get support. Like nobody checks in on you. You have zero accountability. So this has been my experience in a big group program that I joined with like a world famous coach, and I was expecting a lot more, but that was my experience. So I just want to let you know that there's coaches out there like that. And they're typically like the really well-known, famous coaches with really well-known programs. What you're going to find is you'll get little to no support, and you're going to be in there with hundreds of people. So that is something really important to understand. Like if you're someone who wants like closer proximity to your mentor, and you want closer support and you want accountability, then a program like that is not going to be a good fit for you. So this type of coach, they only have like one or two main programs because they just funnel everybody in, and they have hundreds of people. It's like herds and herds of people, and then they hire other people to do everything for them. So that's the first type of business coach you'll find on the internet right now in 2022. The second type of business coach you'll find, typically these coaches have multiple offers. Like they have so many offers, you can't keep up. Because what they do is they try to sell as much as they can, because the more things they sell, the more money they make. So literally the only way to keep up with like what they're selling and what they're doing is to follow them every day. So that's how they get people to follow them every day, is by selling like nonstop something new, like almost every day. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just how it is. Like the only way to keep up is to really like follow them and watch them every day. These coaches are typically very creative. Like to be able to come up with that many offers all the time, like you've got to be super creative. And so that's what they do, is they create more offers to make more money. And these type of coaches typically do not do any reach outs. They don't do any follow-ups, and they do not do sales calls. So very different worlds of coaches here. So, the first type of coach, they have people doing their sales calls. They have people doing follow-ups and reach outs for them, and it's hundreds and hundreds of people in these group programs, versus the second type of coach, they never do reach outs. They never do follow-ups. It's basically like you go to them and ask them for the link to buy. And if you don't go to them and ask them for the link to buy, like they don't get paid. But their attraction marketing is so good that people go to them and ask for the link to buy. So this is really like the two different types of coaches that I see. The second type of coach also, they're very, they're powerful. Like they grow in their attraction and their power, where power has to meet power. So if you want to work with this coach, you have to go to them and ask them how to work with them. So what makes me different from these two types of coaches? What's different about my programs and who I am versus these two types of coaches? So what I will say is that I design my programs and my containers for the success of the client and not for me. It is so important to me that my clients get insane support, like insane accountability, and they get connected with other people so that they can build friendships, have collaborations, and be able to grow in their businesses and not feel alone. So my signature program, Elite High Ticket Academy, what I do in this is I take like 4 to 5 women through at a time. So I have these small cohorts of 4 to 5 women. The reason that I keep it so small is because I want to be able to talk to them. So this is the difference between that type 1 coach and me, is I actually talk to my clients. Like we actually have conversations. We talk about your goals, your struggles, what you're working on. I give you feedback on everything you're doing. So that's the difference between me versus coach type 1, is they've built their business and taken themselves out. So they're not actually doing any coaching hardly at all. And I prioritize my client results. I prioritize their accountability, their support, and their encouragement. So like we have these small groups. We also have chat threads where you can ask me questions 24/5. I teach strategy, mindset. I help my clients overcome limiting beliefs. So we work very closely together. I know them very well. And, I get them taking action, and I help them stay accountable to that, because it is having someone hold you accountable and to be able to talk to them and get feedback that's going to create leaps and bounds of success in your business. So this is really the difference between, going to a program with hundreds of people in it and not feeling seen or heard versus working with someone who sees you, who hears you, who gives you feedback, who supports you, who encourages you and keeps you accountable to your goals. So I am very involved in my business. I do the content creation, I do the posting, I do like most of the coaching calls. I do have 2 co-coaches who help me inside of the academy. And I also have an incredible designer and an assistant. So that's who I have helping me currently. And I got to $1 million with just one program. And now, over the last few months, I've introduced 12 more ways to work together. So now I have all different levels of pricing, proximity, to be able to work together. So I'm kind of a mix between kind of my own thing and the type 2 coach. I've got multiple offers now, and I provide really close support and accountability. The thing that makes me different about type 2 coach is I still do discovery calls for offers over 5 figures. So a lot of them don't do any sales calls at all. They've taken it out of their business. They prefer not to do them. I prefer to do them. And the reason why is the human connection. Like in this world that we live in right now where technology is so prevalent, I feel like human connection has been lost. And people can't feel our energy or understand who we are or be able to have that connection unless we jump on a quick call. So I do quick 15-minute discovery calls to make sure that people are a good fit. Like it's really important to me to audition them to make sure that this is somebody that I want to work with closely, right? And then there are some people who will get on calls and I will tell them like this probably isn't a great fit, and we say goodbye, we go on our way. But I really value that human connection and just being able to get to know somebody and feel their energy. Like I would rather get on a 15-minute call and get a firm yes or no than like go back and forth in the DMs all the time or have someone miss out because their fear and the stories they're telling themselves are holding them back. So that's like, I would hate for that to happen to somebody, to not move forward with making their business a reality and growing their business because they were too scared to reach out or click the link. So that's why I love to be able to connect with people and have that human connection. My coaching is truly life-changing. I'm so passionate about what I do, so passionate about giving my clients incredible support, accountability, helping them implement, making sure that they're implementing, like really taking that accountability step to the next level. And I care about you. Like I care about you and your results. And that's what makes me different than some other business coaches out there. So go ahead and comment below, all in, if you're all in to take your business to the next level. I'd love to help you. I can help with any questions you have about any of the different levels or proximity that you want to work with me. There's so many different opportunities to be able to grow our businesses. So I'm really excited for that. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that this has helped clear up some confusion and also educated you about the types of coaches that are out there right now for growing your business. So I wish that I would have had this like a few years ago. I wish I would have watched this and had someone do this video. So that's why I wanted to do it today, is to help you understand like the different types of coaches that are out there so that you can make a really educated decision when you go to hire a coach. So I hope you have the best day. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.